श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। We'll chant the shlokas. भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्कृञ्करणी। We will chant from the 9th shloka. सत्संगत्वे निस्संगत्वं निस्संगत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः। वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः। मा कुरु धनजन यौवनगर्वं हरति निमेषात् कालः सर्वं। मायामयमिदम् अखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा। दिनयामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ पुनरायातः कालः क्रीडति गच्छत् तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशावायुः भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति डुक्कृत्करणी. Yesterday we were discussing on the three very important truths of life, which actually is the cause for one to think on the very importance of worldly life. What are the three truths? Yesterday we said the first truth is unpredictability of life itself and everything in this life. Things, beings, situations. None of them can be actually predicted. Even though we predict, it can change. Many times, most of the times, it changes without prior information. Therefore, unpredictability is the first truth. Then the second truth is uncontrollable are situations. People. Why? Our own mind. None of them is controllable after a certain threshold. To a certain threshold we are able to control. After a certain threshold we are unable to control. So uncontrollable is the very nature of the world. Again, things, beings, situations. And the third truth which we have to discuss today is the unsustainability. Nothing can be sustained in this life. Nothing is permanent. Nobody is permanent. Yesterday I left with one question. Can you think of any one single thing which is permanent? Even though in the forms you might write permanent address, but the addressee is the one to whom the address belongs. He himself is impermanent. What to talk of address? Therefore, everything is unsustainable. Nothing is permanent. Incidentally, very interestingly, all of us want everything good quality, and the best thing is durability. We always talk of durability. What is this durability? When we ourselves are not durable, what to talk of things and beings in this world outside? Nothing is durable, nothing is sustainable. Therefore, since it is unpredictable, uncontrollable, and unsustainable, human being is rendered unstable. Think. Because of these factors, we are unstable in our life. Whichever condition, whichever position, how much ever rich or poor, how much ever healthy or wealthy, nothing matters. Why? Even the wealthiest person wants to insure himself. Think. There are people who want to insure their most important part of the body. On the other day, I was checking in the internet where There was the world's fastest runner, athlete. He has insured not his body but only his leg for several $million. No amount of insurance can give the sustainability in life. Since man is not able to predict, control, or sustain things, beings, and situations of life, he is rendered unstable, which produces disturbance in his mind, which is the cause for worry in his mind, which is the cause for distraction in his mind. Tell me what you can do about it. Things is not under our purview very many times. Relationship is not guaranteed. People are not guaranteed. Positions are not guaranteed. Health totally not guaranteed. Many people make money out of this very factor. Health, no guarantee. Therefore, health insurance. For whom? Again, not for you. For the kith and kin after we kick the bucket. Think. And now with Corona in place, everybody are making money out of it. Think. None of these can give a guarantee to a human being. Therefore, he is rendered disturbed. This disturbance causes confusion, fatigue, frustration, etc., worry. And the best part is worrying, getting disturbed, all these will not solve any problem. Think. This factor of no guarantee aspect in everything is the cause for disturbance only because, now please be attentive, only because of the delusion that I have that all of them are permanent, all of them will give me happiness, they are the cause for the happiness. So the more I get them, the more I am happier, the more I can be merryful. Nothing happens. They come and even before they reach, they are diverted and they are gone. Think. Therefore, Acharya says, the delusions that I have with reference to Kala, time, with reference to situations in life, with reference to relationships in life, with reference to family in life, with reference to money in life, all of them are delusions which delude a man only trying to satisfy his worries of life. Physical insecurity is one thing. Emotional insecurity is the basis for all worries of life. Therefore, where can I take emotional insurance? With reference to things, with reference to my house, with reference to certain other aspects of life, I may probably have an insurance company which has its own way not to pay back the money, which has got certain clause which is printed in 4 points size, which no human being can read with naked eyes. Therefore, people never bother, they just sign. Once they sign, finished, your money is gone. I am not underestimating the insurance company. I am not finding reason to evade insurance company. Be careful. Why be careful? None of them can give me emotional insurance. Think. If at all an emotional insurance can be given to me, it can be given only by that factor which is eternal, which is permanent, everlasting. And none of the worldly life, none of the factor is permanent. Therefore, the only permanent factor which is available for human beings is Bhagavan. Therefore, Shankaracharya ji says, Bhaja Govindam. And in the 12th sloka, in the 10th sloka of this Bhaja Govindam, Acharya said, Vayasi gate kama vikaraha kaha. Once one becomes older in life, there is no strength even in desiring. Because I will not have strength to enjoy. You know, Prakriti is so beautiful. As and when you step into the second half of the life, one by one Prakriti withdraws its capability. Slowly eyes cannot see. Slowly ears cannot see. Slowly my teeth are all falling. Initially teeth falls. Then you try to extend by false teeth. Why? Man somehow wants to enjoy. Man somehow wants to entertain himself. Therefore, when I cannot see, I wear a spectacle. When I cannot hear, I wear a hearing aid. When I cannot, when my skin is all, with wrinkles, I do a plastic surgery to look beautiful. I can cheat people outside by doing all this makeup and setup, etc. But one very beautiful person said, you can cheat others with all this, but you cannot cheat a staircase, he said. Because the moment days are going, when I become weaker and weaker, climbing the stairs will show me what my age is, what my capability are. Therefore, at every stage, one starts becoming weaker and weaker. So, Vayasi gate kama vikaraha kaha. The desires cannot be fulfilled at old age. Why? I have no strength to enjoy either. Shushke nire kaha kasarah, kshine vitte kaha parivarah. One by one, when they go, associated things will go. When my wealth goes, my parivar also goes. Similarly, very beautiful thought here. Similarly, jnate tattve, once I gain the knowledge of the Supreme, kaha samsaraha. What is samsaraha? Samsara is nothing but the delusion of what? All those we discussed in Dvadasha Manjarika Stotra. Therefore, Acharya says, Bhaja Govindam. Once he completes his Dvadasha Manjarika Stotra, as I said yesterday, every student, out of the joy gaining the knowledge from the Acharya, each one of them offer their flower of gratitude at the feet of the Acharya, with one shloka added to it, which totally becomes Moha Udgaraha. Now we will see the next shloka, the 13th shloka, which is by Sri Padmapada, one of the student of Acharya. Padmapada writes this very beautiful shloka. Kate kanta dhanagata chinta vatulakim tava nasti niyanta trijagati sajjana sangati rekha bhavati bhavarnava tarani nauka kate kanta dhanagata chinta vatulakim tava kate kanta dhanagata chinta vatulakim tava nasti niyanta trijagati sajjana sangati rekha bhavati bhavarnava tarani nauka bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. Acharya very beautifully, in a manner of saying, indicates the thought which was given by Adi Shankaracharya. Padmapada Acharya says, Kate kanta dhanagata chinta. Kanta means those which gives pleasure. And the worldly pleasures are those which attracts people. That is why a magnet is also called kanta. A magnet attracts and get attached. So kanta are those objects which attracts and gets attached. Dhana gata chinta. Chinta means obsession. Obsession with what? Dhana. Kanta and dhana. Kanta is the pleasures, dhana is wealth. Hey Vatula. Vatula, very beautiful word. Vatula is the Sambodhana Vibhakti. Vatulaha means the one who is distracted, the one who is deluded. Hey Vatula, tava niyanta nasti kim? Don't you have a controller who will control your irresponsible diversions? There are two aspects to it. Niyanta means controller, Lord. And here specifically, is there no elderly person who has controlled you, who can control you, is one thought. The other thought is, in a human being, niyanta means buddhi, intelligence. Tava niyanta nasti kim? Don't you have an intelligence which drives you? Don't you have thinking capacity? Can't you analyze? Can't you discriminate? Therefore, hey Vatula, hey distracted one, Sajjana Sangati Trijagati Eka. The only thing which can put us back into track of what? Track of moving in the direction which is the very purpose of human life. Trijagati in this world and three worlds. Three worlds meaning represents what? All our journey from Jivatva to Paramatma. in this whole journey of life, Sajjana Sangatihi Eka. The only thing which can take me to the other shore. No? Tarani Nauka. Tarani Nauka is the boat which can take me to the other shore. What is that? Bhava. Bhava Arnava Tarani Nauka. This boat which can take me from this shore to the other shore. Of what? Samsara. Bhava means samsara. And what is samsara? These delusions itself are called samsara. Bhavati bhavarnava tarane nauka sangatihi eka. Only through association with wise people, association with guru, association with those who are realized masters, who are called Deshikaha, Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtham. Therefore, He Vatula, my dear deluded one, get associated. Now, this association is also very, very important. Very many times we find association with an institution, association with a guru always definitely brings in lot of good sangha, good association, no doubt. But very interestingly, even this association, if not associated appropriately, can cause another delusion. What is that delusion? Delusion of good boy attitude. What is this good boy? Good boy, when I say it, good girl also is included. This image factor. I am a very good person. I am associated with a religious institution. I am associated with Santa Purusha. And there are people who are associated with so many associations. Association is good. But one has to be very, very careful. The purpose of association with wise men and good institution is to reduce our ego. This must be very clear. Otherwise, the same association can be cause for increase in delusion. One will start adding up more delusions. Therefore, one has to be very careful while associating. Association for the sake of reducing my individuality, reducing my ego, reducing my ahankara, and trying to march forward. Every step is a success in a sadhaka's life. Remember, every step in reducing the ahankara, reducing the ego, reducing that identity is a step towards the higher. Therefore, this can be given only by the sangati. Sangati means association of what? Satpurusha, Satchintana, Satkirtana, Sadbhava, Satkaryam, Sadvastu. All these are for directing the mind. And anything other than these are for diverting the mind. To direct the mind to the higher, one has to get associated with. With what? All these good. In the Bhagavad Gita, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya Nibandha Asuri. Asuri means what? Asuri Sampat. Daivi Sampat is what? They are all the good qualities, and Asuri Sampat are what? Those which distracts the mind from the purpose. And what is given here is attain Daivi Sampat through Sajjana Sangati. Why Sajjana? Sajjana are the model, the role model through whom I can gain the knowledge of what is to be done, what is not to be done, and how to put my step further. Every step is a very important step. Now, while we are putting our steps up, very many times we find that we may slip. We may fall. But our surrender at the feet of the Guru, at the feet of the Sajjana must be such that that surrender will hold us from falling. When there is no proper surrender, in fact, we always find lot of people talking so much about so many acharyas, so many gurus whom they don't even know properly. These are all an addition to a delusion. Our Swadharma, Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha, when it is said, what is that Swadharma? I associate myself with Sajjana to understand the truth of life and to march forward. If this is understood, Trijagati Bhavanavatarani, this surrender at the feet of the Guru, surrender at the feet of the Bhagavan can definitely take us away from the samsara sagara and will take us to the other shore of Brahman. Therefore, one has to reach the feet of a master. This is what Padmapadacharya very clearly emphasizes. And this shloka, now please note, the emphasis here is with reference to Satsanga. Now here, one very important point which I would like to share, in this Charpata Pancharika Stotram, there are two very important aspects that are being dealt with. One is those which are to be nourished. Just now we said Sadgunaha are to be nourished and Durgunaha are to be discarded. These two are the primary factors which are dealt all through Charpata Pancharika Stotram. And here Acharya says, disassociate with those which will distract you and associate the mind, mana. Associate the mind with what? With good thoughts. Sajjana, Satsanga. Very, very, very important, please. Very many times people devalue or they say, those are all not for me now. Satsanga. But please note, every association of thought strengthens that very quality of thought. I'll repeat. Every association of thought strengthens that very quality of thought. Therefore, the more I associate with Sajjana, Satpurusha, Sadvastu, that Sat, the good, becomes stronger and stronger in me. The more I associate with the worldly affairs, that becomes stronger and stronger. When I get more and more Daivi Sampat, the mind becomes quieter and quieter. The more and more I associate with the Asuri Sampat, the mind becomes more and more distracted. Therefore, I alone can decide. What do you mean by I alone can decide? It is my intellect which finalizes what I have to think and what I should not think. That is why he said Niyanta. Niyanta meaning what? Buddhi. Continuing. The next shloka is written by Sri Totakacharya. Totakashtakam is very popular. It is this Totakacharya who had written the Totakashtakam praising his teacher Acharya Shankara. Bhava Shankara, me Sharanam. I surrender myself at the feet of Shankara. This was written by Totakacharya. He writes another very beautiful shloka. Jatilo mundi lunchita keshaha kashayambara bahukrita veshaha pashyannapi chana pashyati mudha hyudara nimittam bahukrita veshaha jatilo mundi lunchita keshaha काशायाम्बर बहुकृत वेशः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढः ह्युदरनिमित्तं बहुकृत वेशः भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. Totakacharya very strongly comes down upon those who take benefit out of such wonderful, beautiful status, position and the ashrama. Acharya says, Bahukrita Veshaha. Veshaha means the externality of a personality. Today, if we go to the north, especially everywhere it is there, especially if you go to Haridwar or Rishikesh, you will find there are a lot of genuine sannyasis who have taken up to sannyasa dharma and who have taken up that particular geographical part of this Bharata Punya Bhumi to go through certain niyamas, go through certain vratas for studying, etc., etc. And they live with alms. With alms meaning what? By taking alms from people, and that's all they need. This is one category of sannyasi. There is another category of sannyasis who develop institutions to share the knowledge. Even Acharya Shankara developed the 4 Peethams, Shankara Peethams. For what? To give the knowledge to the society. Give this beautiful knowledge to everyone with the hope that everyone will start walking the path of sadhana. And in fact, there are so many varieties of sannyasa dharma. Each pankta have their own variety. Some of them are indicated here. Jatilaha, there are people who leave their hairs with so much of matted hairs. If you go there, you will find they are so heavy also. That is one type of sannyasa. Mundi. Mundi meaning what? Shaven hairs. Shaven hairs, shaven head. People who keep the head shaved. Lunchita keshaha. Lunchita keshaha basically relates to certain Buddhist and Jainism saints, and practice or tradition there is they pluck every hair, and they have to tolerate. You try one, you will understand how painful it is. It's very painful to pluck every hair. To shave is easy. To pluck every hair is very, very difficult. And certain panktas have got that the tradition of plucking every hair of sannyasa. Sannyasa dharma is there in very many, not only in Hinduism, in very many religions it is there. And one of the type of sannyasa is lunchita keshaha. Kashaya ambara. Kashaya means ochre robes. In some of the sannyasis, there are white robed sannyasis. We have so many people in our Bharatiya Samskriti where tremendous amount of sannyasis wear white robes. In fact, the color of the robe is a choice which the head chooses, and then it continues. But Kashaya here refers to ochre robe. This is very interesting. If you go to some institutions, you will find first it is white dress, brahmacharya studentship. Then Naishtika brahmacharya is given yellow robes, and then sannyasa is given ochre robes. Kashayambara here is the cloth which indicates the ashrama of the personality. And here what Totakacharya would say is Bahukrita Veshaha. That is the point. Very many people take to certain Vesha, but all these are external expressions. But what is very important in this is the internal transformation. External transformation from probably a jeans pant or a t-shirt to a white robe or a yellow robe or kashaya vastra. These are externalities, but they are important. We cannot brush aside and say these are all wasteful, etc., etc. No. It is extremely important for two important reasons. The externalities, all these Jatilaha, Mundi, Lunchita Keshaha, Kashayambaraha, all these are what? There are two very important factors. The first factor is it will give the others an indication that here is a person who has taken to certain norms of life. Here is a person who has set himself towards a particular path of life. This is for external people. It is also important for oneself to time and again remind that I am into a sadhana. Why is this required? For the simple reason, even though we may change the externalities of life, the mind has to be well strengthened. Why should it be strengthened? Because mind, for what it is, the very nature of mind is chanchalatva. The very nature of mind is asthiratva. Therefore, this chanchala asthira manaha can slip at any period of time, at every drop of the hat, at every opportunities and situations. The force of such vasanas which had been created from time immemorial can definitely push in. Yesterday we said, anichannapi varsneya baladiva niyojitaha ayam purushaha papam charati. How much our resolution? Yesterday was a new year. New year, we take it to be celebrations, but new year can be a reason for resolutions. So many people take up so many resolutions on a new year. But why are they required? They are required to control the irresistible mind. They are required to direct, channelize the mind which was thrown away by myself. No other force. My own self, a mind which has been thrown away to the whims and fancies of life, a resolution is brought in to channelize and direct the mind. Therefore, internal transformation and the external changes as a reminder to oneself is very important. But the external transformations becomes valid only when there is internal transformation. If the internal transformation does not happen, then external transformations, it cannot be called as transformation, it can be external changes, are called veshaha. Therefore, Acharya warns everyone with this shloka, don't just change the externalities, focus on the internal transformation, parivartana. Think. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om